think we're good.
Good morning, CSP Wolfpack fans. CSP Wolfpack Radio coming to you live from Gowanda, New York, in what can only be described as just an absolutely beautiful baseball facility here in Gowanda. It's like something out of a dream book here. I don't know when this field got put in, but Gowanda's got a lot to be proud of here. And the other member of the team here this morning, I'm happy to announce, is going to be Bryce Hinsdale. So welcome to the broadcast, Dennis.
Yes, this will be. Am I on?
Yep, you're on.
This will be interesting. The big round orange balls that I am to these little pea-sized baseballs.
Well, this is going to be a trial by fire here a little bit. Kudos to the Gowanda management and staff here. They got us set up with a table. We got the, we'll see how it goes here. But anyways, Wolfpack last night, big victory over Westfield. And the game started out a little rusty, which we kind of thought it might, just because the kids have been off school for a while, or out of school, out of practice. And so they came in and kind of nipped and tucked there for the first couple innings, but only hit a big fourth inning. So that takes the Wolfpack to 3-0 on the season. We're playing Tyne Valley here in Gowanda. They come into the contest at 3-2. They played Frewsburg last night. Hard-fought victory for them, 42 over Frewsburg. They're at 3-2, and they've had a couple victories. Chautauqua Lake, I see, I think beat them, but then they beat Ellicottville. They're getting their feet wet in the 2022 baseball season so far. So Dennis, what do you know?
I know this is a beautiful place to be playing baseball. I just had to snicker because the home plate umpire just brushed off the home plate.
So there's no dirt anywhere on this whole field, and so this is a treat to play on. Kids don't get a chance to play at facilities like this too often in Western New York. So thank you to the Gowanda School District and Tyne Valley for hosting us up here.
It'll be different. It's this surface is a lot faster and gravity.
Yep.
But great experience. Just fun to watch.
And with new turf, just because I know we play a lot of travel baseball on facilities similar to this. Actually, the new turf actually acts like a magnet. It grabs the baseball. You'd think it would scoot on this type of stuff, but it actually, thank you to the ground crew here. Dale Willink, Mark Humes, Mark Berchanowski doing their best. So as we kick off the day
push
here,
that up or
thanks to
so
our
it should
sponsor,
snap into that.
Channel 98.9 Sports Stream
Did you get the
broadcast
one?
host
Yeah.
of Lictus Oil and Propane and Climber.
You're just about there.
Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and on and off diesel fuel services are also offered. Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. So thank you again to all our sponsors. We're working on bringing our first batter. So CSP, the Wolfpack here. Austin White's going to be leading us off. Got Bryce Hinsdale on the mound for Tyne Valley. And it's going to be opening ball one. Hey, can you guys scoot that over top of this quick while you're fiddling around with it? Thank you, thank you. Excellent. We just have to duck a little bit, but we're going to make this thing work. So that's going to be ball 3 to Austin White leading off the game here. 3-0, Bryce Hinsdale, the pitcher from Tyne Valley. Austin White at the plate, left-handed hitting Austin White.
Had to do what? Had to raise that all up.
And that's going to be called strike.
Is that all the way up?
3 balls, 1 strike. And our first batter in the morning, late morning.
Late morning. Really pretty pleasant day for baseball. A little traveling shower here or there, but that's going to be ball called strike 2. That looked a little outside from the back over here, but home plate umpire calls strike on Austin. That's going to give us a full count here. So our second batter of the day is going to be Bryce Hinsdale. We got Austin White on first, courtesy of a walk.
Wait for the signs. He's got them.
Goes in and out. There's a line drive shot in deep center field. On the turf, it's going to bounce all the way to the wall. Austin White getting on his horse. They're waving him around from third base. CSP Wolfpack's in business here. First thing, Dennis.
Puts them up 1-0, right? 2 batters.
We got a chair. I have a chair too. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do.
That's going to bring right-handed hitter Gabe Roth up to the plate. Third batter of the day. And that's going to be ball inside. Ball 1. Bryce Hinsdale on the mound for Pine Valley. Heck of an athlete. Had a really good basketball season, and he's a talented baseball pitcher as well. He was the hero of the game last night, 3 doubles. So, pretty good athlete.
Good size pitch.
Yeah, that's going to be a pop-up straight back. That's going to be into the woods behind home plate here. Evens the count to 1-1 for Gabe. Jeez, like I'm at a Major League Park here. We got roof, we got fans, we got a beautiful facility. That's going to be a ball to the fence, and that's going to advance Bryce over to third base. That's going to be ball 2 to Gabe. Passing rain shower seems to have stopped at this point, and it's kind of a cloudy day here, 60 degrees or so. Decent day for baseball.
Perfect day.
That's going to be ball 2 high, or ball 3, excuse me. 3-1 to Gabe Roth. CSP up on Pine Valley 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. And it is a curveball on the outside corner. That's what Gabe was thinking.
She hooked pretty hard.
Yeah, it did too. That was a good pitch. And that one hits Gabe actually on the left shoulder. That's going to advance him. So advance, hit by pitch to Gabe Roth to first base. And first and third, no outs here, and that's going to bring Micah Willink to the plate. Pine Valley coach wanted to make sure that Gabe didn't take one on the shoulder there, kind of without moving. And it's going to be a ball either way. First and third, no outs. Micah Willink up. CSP up 1-0 over the Pine Valley Panthers here at Gowanda's beautiful baseball facility here.
Another left-handed batter. That's pretty unique. You don't see a lot of left-handed batters in high school.
3 of the first 4 lefties. We've got a couple lefties on the bench as well. Called strike, and that one, they throw it down to third base, trying to catch Bryce sleeping over there, and they end up throwing it actually over third baseman's head, and that advances Bryce to score, and it gets Gabe all the way over to third. Really heads up base running by Gabe Roth. So that makes the score 2-0 on the throwing error off the catcher. Gabe Roth, third. Micah Willink. Ball's 1 strike. 0-2. The curveball's there. Caught Micah looking.
He's just checking him out.
Yeah. There's a hit down towards second base. Going to be fielded cleanly, but that's going to be a Ridgy. And job well done by Micah, even though he's not on base. He got the RBI in, so that's going to make the score 3-0. CSP Wolfpack over the Pine Valley Panthers. And 1 down here. That's going to bring Trent Burchanowski to the box. Trent's getting some last-minute instruction from Coach Marino. Man, I just can't say enough about this facility here, Dennis. They got concrete pads all the way around this place. They got bleachers on both sides, painted up. It's like a minor league park. There's a curveball, high and inside.
Hit that pretty hard, but it really kind of trickled out to the side.
Yeah, this turf. I didn't realize that. We were fortunate enough to play at a really nice facility in Pittsburgh last summer. There's a hard hit ball to the shortstop that actually does kind of hamstring him just a little bit. And was expecting a higher hop, and that grass just kept it down low. And misplay is for the shortstop, and that's going to allow Trent to get to first base. But with the new turf, they had one field that was new turf and one field that was old turf, and the umpires were talking to us. And they said, you watch the hops. The old turf, it'll hop a lot higher because it's been worn down and it's aged a little bit. The new turf acts like a chewing gum, and it just sticks onto it. And Trent's going to take off for second base, and he's going to be in there. And Trent advances to second on a stolen base. Good throw by the catcher. Actually hit Trent on the way into second base, bounces over towards shortstop, but not far enough for him to be able to advance. So we got runners scoring position. Curtis Olsen at the box. Bryce Hinsdale from Pine Valley laboring a little bit here in the first inning. Curveball, that misses, and that's going to allow the base runner over to third base. They do make it an attempt to throw. Left-handed catcher, Dennis. You don't see a lot of those guys around.
Yeah, and he's pretty aggressive.
He is, too.
I thought he would have ate that one. Yeah. He's thrown her.
Curtis Olsen at the bat. 1 ball, no strikes to Curtis. That's going to be ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 down here in the top of the first inning. 3-0 CSP over Pine Valley.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good bleachers over there.
Bryce taking a minute to get the signal from the catcher. And that's going to be a swing and a miss from Curtis on a good high fastball on the inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Let's go, Kurt. Come on out once. Give her a hit. Go on up here. Let's go, once.
Another ground ball to the second baseman. He gobbles it up. That's going to be another RBI, and they're going to call Curtis out at first base, but that's going to score Trent.
2 outs.
Well, we were working, but it was picking up the internal mic on the phone, so it wasn't real loud, so we'll try that. And a partial swing on a nice pitch. Dylan Michael up at the bat.
Bases are empty, so we got room. Load him.
Curveball called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2.
He almost called that before the ball got to the catcher.
Bryce has got a nice looking curveball here.
does.
That thing really drops off. Yes, it does. It got the hook to it for sure. That's going to be the ball low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dylan Michael.
Having a little trouble with his fastball. That curveball looks like it really handcuffs the batters.
And that one, curveball, is going to make its way to the fence. No harm, no foul, but that's going to give a full count to Dylan.
I think I could have pushed it through that. That would work. I think they'd be happy. They would.
And that's a hit down the third baseline, right down the path. It's going to wander foul. So we'll replay it here, Dennis. Full count here, 2 down, top of the first inning. CSP up 4-0 over to the Pine Valley Panthers, the host team at the Gowanda Baseball facility here.
Almost a swinging bunt right there.
Yeah, almost was. And there is a nice looking swing, but a better pitch, and that's going to retire the side on a swinging third out for Dylan Michael. That's going to end the first inning, but not before the CSP Wolfpack hammer 4 runs across the plate. So that's going to put them up 4-0 after the top of the first inning here, Dennis, and we're off and running.
Certainly are. That was a good inning for the boys. That's a great way to start the game. I always want to jump out on them in the first inning.
Yeah, you know, baseball's meant to be kind of a game of repetition. So we played last night, but we hadn't played 2 weeks prior to that. So you just wonder how everybody's going to react playing 2 in a row here. And we had kind of a slow start to the game last night, but we got the bats and running going in the 4th inning, and it's kind of carried over here. So the Wolfpack are going to bring Curtis Olsen out. He's going to start the game pitching here. Micah Willink catching, Bryce Hinsdale first base, Trent Burchanowski second, Austin White shortstop. We're going to have, looks like Blake Hopta at third. We're going to have Dylan Michael in left, Gabe Roth in center, Ian Dunewald in right. Tate Catneys is actually going to be playing the shortstop position here, third base position here today, folks. So that'll be Tate's first start at third base.
He's also a pitcher, isn't he?
He's a little bit of everything. He can play a lot of different positions. Where we really like him is on the base paths. He's got wheels.
Yeah, he does.
And he can hit it a little bit too. So it's good to get some younger crew in here. We got a pretty nice spread of some seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen.
He's got his speed from his
That's probably about where it came from.
No doubt about that.
The funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for the agriculture industry and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services on and off-road diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. And as a part of their sponsorship, they get to announce one game. So, welcome, Dennis. Thank you.
a very nice film.
All right, so Curtis Olsen wraps it out here, and that's going to be opening ball 1 for Bryce Hinsdale, the starting pitcher, is also the leadoff batter. Kind of shows you his versatility. That's going to be right down Main Street. 1 ball, 1 strike for Curtis. We were talking last night when Curtis was throwing. He was throwing some heat last night.
He was
So
throwing hard last night.
hopefully he saved a little in the tank for today. There's one outside.
Well, against Southwestern for the short stint that he was in.
Yeah, you know, like we said, they're still trying to get some pitchers some time here. We just really haven't had a lot of games. Going to be a curveball high and outside, 3-1 to the leadoff batter here.
You certainly don't want to burn them up in the first part of the season.
No,
If you got
Southwestern game, I was kind of jumping on Southwestern's coach a little bit. There's ball 4. David Kennedy had a pretty much great game. He must have had 120 pitches on his arm. I was not a big fan of that, coming from a dad of a pitcher. First game out, you're throwing your stud 120 pitches. I don't know, but such is life in a big city. So anyway, Pine Valley batter number 2, Donovan Guglielmi, up and takes the pitch from Curtis Olsen, called strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Bryce Hinsdale at first base, no outs here. CSP up 4-0 over the host team, Pine Valley. Ball low, pitched out by Micah behind the plate.
How are they going to level that out for us?
Taking a look at Micah last night when he got home. Of course, he's a catcher, as all catchers in the league are. He's all dinged up, banged up. His arms look like he's been in a fight.
I saw him after the
Come on, Kurt! Come on, Kurt!
looked like he had a pretty good knot on it.
Yeah, battle scars he calls them.
Unanswered question.
But you asked him if he'd like to play anywhere else, and he said no way. As all catchers do. They love it back there. 2 balls, 1 strike to the batter Guglielmi. Curtis, that one made it about halfway. 3-1. don't know.
One of the things that I noticed in the coaching staff is when they're out there, some of these days, not to aim at me. Early on in the year, it looks like they are trying to aim it.
There's a hard shot right into the gap between center and left. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Gabe Ross backs and throws it in. Throw it into the shortstop, but no play. That's going to be a stand-up double from Miami to the fence. And that's going to score Bryce Hinsdale all the way from first base. Pine Valley's got a little thunder going here. Exactly. Probably could have covered that hit with a blanket where it landed out there from where Bryce hit his. It's going to bring up 6'5" Wayne Libby, starting third baseman for Pine Valley. He's throwing bunt, and he does. Fouls it straight up behind the fence. Trying to advance that runner from second over to third, I guess. Wayne Libby, he lists him at 6'5", and that's an honest 6'5". He's a couple inches taller than Micah, at least. He's a big kid. There's a foul ball down the left-hand side. Third base coach tries to catch it with his helmet. Hits the fence, and we're going to be foul ball number 2. A little more effort over there, coach.
Yeah, less miles usually.
So Curtis, 2 pitches up 0-2 on the number 3 batter, Wayne Libby from Pine Valley. 4-1 CSP over Pine Valley. Bottom half of the first inning. Pine Valley got a runner on second base. Ball low.
Yeah, I gotta agree with the coaches there. That one looked like he was trying to.
Yeah, easy to do.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Kurt.
I don't know. I've never really pitched on it. First field before, especially the first mound. It might be a little different for everybody, you know? I don't know if maybe because he's got tennis shoes on, if he's sliding with his plant foot just a little bit. We did have a little shot of rain, not enough to even cover the sidewalk, but anyway. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wayne Libby. All 3 outside. Oh, we're up 0-2.
Good stop, Micah. Good stop.
It looks just a little amiss out there. I don't know if his plant foot's sliding just a little bit, or well, Micah's going to go out and have a look at it. Actually, so he's going to call timeout.
Yeah, let us know for sure.
Do the same thing here. I'll take a second. Thank another one of our sponsors here. Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream is provided by Sherman Livestock at 4150 Sherman Mayville Road. Cattle auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday. Horse and tack are every Thursday, or third Saturday of the month. More info at 716-499-1362 and on Facebook. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. My wife any ideas.
Oh, you already got a couple of horses.
So number 4 batter for Pine Valley up, George Kreska. Going to take ball 1 from Curtis Olsen, who's laboring a little bit on the mound this morning. And there's a good pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. For the cleanup hitter, Kreska. Got runners on first and second, no out here, top in the bottom half of the first inning.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Curtis.
The second mic isn't working.
No ball. And 2 strikes. Number 4 batter.
Let me see if I can.
We're working through a little technical difficulty.
Look good, Curtis. Look good.
2-2.
inside corner. Gonna give us a full count. Once again, getting a fair amount of pitches on Curtis's arm here. He's done full count on all 4 batters he's faced. And that's going to load the bases. I'm not sure Curtis is a big fan of the artificial turf mound at this point.
Right now,
No.
loads the bases up.
Yes, it does. Big spot for center fielder Craig Howard from Pine Valley. Bases loaded, no outs here. We'll see if Curtis can work himself out of it. Right hand side. No balls, 1 strike.
Howard is a pretty familiar name in Pine Valley baseball. Back in the 70s.
Ball high.
Go, Curtis. Come on, Kurt.
Come on, Curtis, let's go, kid.
All right, play.
Another foul ball behind us. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Is there 1 down? No down.
1 down.
Go now. Here we go. Here we go.
It's going to bring up Harley Conklin, the left fielder. Same spot. Bases loaded, 1 down now. Pitch, called strike on the outside corner.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Kurt.
There's a ball to the fence. All the runners advance 1 position. Try that. Sure.
The number 6 hitter.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That better?
So, 3 struck out 2.
Nope.
And there, field. Now, playing underneath it, that's going to be put out by Dylan Michaels, and that's going to end the inning. So, big inning for both teams to start off here. Pirates, there's Wolfpack up 2 after the end of 1 here over Pine Valley Panthers with a lot of hitting and a lot of pitching. Funding coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech, Robert Leonard from Panama, installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook. Funding for this Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance agency providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and PA. We're working through a little technical problem here. We got mics going, but we're not sure we're picking up everybody.
Picking it up from there. Yeah, see, I could just hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, Ian Dunwall's going to start off the second inning for the CSP Wolfpack. First pitch is a strike.
Okay. Got to hold your tongue just right to make all this stuff work, folks, to be honest with you. All right, that's going to be 1-1.
There we go.
Ian Dunwald with a nice game last night. One of the better plays I've seen at the plate. Tried to look like he was going to have a bunt, and then he pulled it back and just rifled one by the third baseman. Heck of a play at the plate. That's going to be ball 2 to the fence.
That's what the third baseman thought. He was kind of inching in for the bunt.
Yeah.
That ball went zipping past his forehead.
Yeah. Take a little second look at it the next time around.
Yeah. That's why they call it the hot box.
Got it. That's going to be ball 3 low.
They have a scoreboard here, but apparently it's just for maybe Gawanda's use. Probably don't have anybody to run the thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to rag on him too hard about that.
No.
Everything else here has been top notch. Yes.
Good enough to let us use it.
So Ian Dunwald's going to walk on 5 pitches from Bryce Hinsdale, and both pitchers continue to labor out there, Dennis. It's not just Curtis that's struggling just a little bit. I don't know. You know, these artificial mounds, they feel different because you don't have your regular turf shoes on, or your spikes. You know, you're wearing turf shoes. And I don't know if their plant feet are sliding a little bit. A lot of balls high. Let's throw over to first base. Kind of
that was a nice move.
That was a nice move.
See, last night they called a balk in that game on a play similar to that. You really don't see that a lot. Don't see that called a lot, but
I think they said that before his shoulders. It had to do with the way he looked, that he was coming home, and then or going to first, and then he didn't.
Yep.
Another throw over to first, safe again for Ian, keeping him honest over there.
This kid does have a nice move.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
It's going to be hard to master that, I would think. I think it'd be a hard thing to coach, unless you were a pitcher.
Yeah. This whole game of baseball is tough to coach.
Yes.
Unless you've been involved with it.
Yep.
Thrown home plate that time. Called strike by home plate umpire. Tate Catney's at the plate. And Ian stumbles. Now they got him in a pickle over there. Now Ian's running him down. He's trying to figure out which way he wants to go. And now they're running him towards second. Now they did throw it to the outfield, so that worked. Ian Dunwald's going to get a stolen base out of that on a throwing error from somebody. I don't know, they had 4 or 5 guys over there.
That was a lot of work for that stolen base.
Yes, it was. He got his money's worth, but to his credit, he stuck with it.
Yeah,
he went back and forth between first and second about 4 times. Usually the cardinal rule is you want to run those guys back to first, so you end up, if you don't get the out, at least you don't give the base. And that time they got the base and no outs. So
how many times you thought he thought to himself, I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble. It's a long walk back to Clymer from here. All right. 0-2 here to Tate Catney's. Ian Dunwald on second base. No outs. Top half of the second inning. And a little pop over the pitcher, but it's going to be fielded by the second baseman. Tate advanced the runner over. Did his job, got the runner advanced, but it's going to be a put out for Tate over at first base. And that's going to be our first out. But that's going to bring us back to the top of the order. And Austin White makes his way out to the batter's box.
This game's kind of funny. I mean, the Pine Valley bottom half was very similar to the Clymer top half, and now all four of the outs from Clymer are ground outs to the second baseman.
Another second baseman there, but he's going to get a ribby out of that. And Ian Dunewald's going to score from third base easily. And once again, mission accomplished. Move the base runners around, and Austin gets a put out at first, but he's going to get an RBI out of the deal. And that's going to bring up Bryce Hinsdale with 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. CSP up now 5-2 over Pine Valley. And called outside. Ball 1 to Bryce.
Boy, he has that curveball really nasty, snaps, man. I don't know if I've seen one snap quite that hard. And
that's just a fastball on the inside.
In a little while.
Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryce. And there's a hard shot over the right fielder's head. That was a heck of a hard shot. That's going to roll to the wall. They're going to wave Bryce over to third.
Here he comes. He might send him home.
The cutoff, but that's going to be a stand-up triple for Bryce. And CSP continues to put the pressure on the defense here. And that's going to bring up Gabe Roth, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Bryce Hinsdale standing on third after a nice hit to the right fielder. Nice pull. I don't think the right fielder figured that ball was hit that hard. Called strike on the outside corner. And ball on the inside. Oh, called strike. That was plenty inside, but home plate umpire thought it caught the corner of the plate. Gabe didn't think so, but nonetheless, here we go. No balls, 2 strikes to Gabe Roth. Bryce Hinsdale on third. Gabe trying to get him in. And foul ball down the third base line. Staying alive.
Curveball?
Nope. Fastball, high and inside.
High heater.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now you come with the curve, I'll bet you.
I'll bet he does too.
Outside and away.
Yep.
And Gabe got under it a little bit, I think. He did. Okay, yep. It's going to be a long, deep fly ball to center field. Pretty well hit ball, but they had him played pretty deep, but that's going to put an end to the CSP second inning, but not before we put another run across the plate. So that's going to make the score 5-2 as we hit the midway point of the second inning here. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided in part by White Land Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for clients in Chautauqua, Cattaraugus counties in New York, and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in PA. Phone 716-499-8410 or online at mwhitepls.com. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy, Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern PA with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards Program, as well as the Free Energy Program, are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy. So as we enter the home half of the second inning here, a little note from the crowd, our pitcher has changed his shoes. I think indeed he was having a little problem with his plant foot. Now he's went back to the traditional spikes, and we'll see how that works. That looked pretty good in the warm-ups, so if we can keep that going, I think we're in pretty good shape here. As we said, this is a completely AstroTurf field, top to bottom, left to right. Just a beautiful athletic facility here in Gowanda. But the kids don't get a chance to throw off an artificial turf mound that often, and they like them to wear their turf shoes when they play on these fields so they don't dig the turf up. But the problem is when it's a little wet like it is out here today, that plant foot has a tendency to slide just a little bit, and both pitchers are struggling with that a little bit. So I got to think Bryce Hinsdale probably is taking a note of what Curtis did, and maybe he's going to take the opportunity to switch his shoes as well. So we'll see what happens here. But anyway, this is going to bring number 2, Nick Seabolt, to the plate, the number 8 batter for Pine Valley. And the bottom half of the second inning, 5-2 CSP over Pine Valley. And that already looks better. That's going to be a high pop fly to Bryce Hinsdale at the first base. That's going to be an easy put out for him. And we got one down here.
Sorry, Wilbur.
Oh, work first, man.
Had to take a phone call from work.
Must be the advertising's working.
Yeah, it must be.
All right, now this is they must have switched the order up. This is number 21. I don't have him in my roster here.
Kyle Chase.
Oh, I missed the number. Kyle Chase.
Kyle Chase.
Right fielder Kyle Chase, number 9 batter. One down here in the bottom half of the second. And ball low. I don't know if you caught it, Dennis. We got a shoe change. Our pitcher is now wearing his traditional spikes.
Oh.
So we think his first couple of pitches looked a lot better.
Well.
As did that one. That's going to foul over the left field side. And he's right ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter Chase. Curtis Olsen look a little more comfortable out there now that he's got his regular shoes on.
Yeah, he's throwing his motion's a lot better.
Yep. Strike 2. Okay. I thought that was strike 3.
So did I. I thought it.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to the batter. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Going down swinging. That's going to be a quick 2 down, and Curtis looking a lot more comfortable out on the mound now. This is the CSP infielder, so the ball around. 2 down here, bottom half of the second. 5-2 CSP over Pine Valley. It's going to bring the top of the order, Bryce Hinsdale, pitcher. Little ball.
That one looked pretty good.
That one looked
right
pretty
there.
good from here. I think it might have been maybe a touch outside. It's about the only thing I can figure. There's one in the same spot they called a strike that time around. So
very similar pitch right there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Keep her right there, Curtis. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
That just about was in the same spot.
Curtis.
He didn't look like he wanted to swing at it, but he did.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here, bottom of the second. And the curveball, off-speed pitch, got him swinging. That was an efficient inning, gentlemen.
Yes, it was. He didn't throw many pitches there.
Nope, he made up for what he labored for a little bit in that first inning, and that's going to put a quick end to the Pine Valley second inning. And that's going to leave our score 5-2 after 2 here in beautiful Gowanda, New York. once again, I keep kind of saying it, the baseball facility here is just top-notch. I can't say enough good things about it. Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and PA since 1957. Shout out to Dale Willink for providing us with the canopy here. That is keeping the sun off and the rain and the wind and everything else. So thank you very much.
Foul balls, although we haven't been tested by that. But
No.
I'm hoping it holds up.
Well, yeah.
I think it will.
I think we'll be all right.
We got the angle correct.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided in part by White Land Surveying and Climber, providing land surveys for clients in Chautauqua, Cattaraugus counties in New York, and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in PA. Phone 716-499-8410 or online at mwhitepls.com. So as we enter the top of the third inning here, we're going to have Michael Willink leading off the parade for the CSP Wolfpack. He's coming to the plate with a 5-2 lead. Pine Valley sticking with the Cirque on the mound, and he's also sticking with the shoes that he came with. So no change on their side. Our catcher, as we've said, got a pretty good arm, but he's thrown it to left field and now to center field in warm-ups.
Yeah.
And left-handed catcher. So you don't see a lot of that, but he's doing a pretty good job back there.
Yeah, not many has gotten by him.
No, that is true. So here we go, top half of the third inning. Michael Willink. Bryce Cirque on the mound for Pine Valley. And that hook again.
Yep.
Called a ball that time.
It's kind of strange. He's pitching from the stretch here with nobody on.
I think he's pitched from the stretch pretty much the entirety.
The whole thing.
But whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. It's going to be ball too low.
Yep.
And it's going to be ball 3 outside. I got to think, got the take sign going here, I would think.
We were talking on the way over. Who pitched in Frewsburg last night?
Libby.
Libby pitched.
Called strike on the inside corner. Micah was thinking that was going to be his base on balls. The umpire thought different, so we go back. 3-1 here. Now it's a swing and a miss. Strike 2 for Micah. All of a sudden, now we got full count here. And there's a hit to the left fielder.
That's
going to
in the
land
hole.
in there, and that's going to be a stand-up single. Good piece of hitting there by Micah.
Yes, it
Went
was.
the opposite way on the outside pitch. That's going to be a single to left field for Micah. And once again, CSP got the opening batter on base. All 3 innings so far. That's going to bring Trent Burchanowski up. Trent had a single in the first inning. Got to watch. He's got a good move over to first base. The pitcher does.
Yeah, he does.
There's a ball high and inside. Ball 1.
Now, we were talking on the way over. The kid that pitched in Frewsburg can pitch left-handed and right-handed. Is that correct?
Oh, that's news to me.
That's what I heard.
Okay. That's going to be a foul straight back of us. Back in the weeds.
Deep in the weeds.
Deep in the weeds.
Deep in the weeds. One ball, one strike.
I'm looking on the old Pine Valley Baseball Twitter account. They do a nice job with that. Bryce Hinsdale shined at the plate with 3 doubles. George Kruska, Guglielmi. Okay, throw to first base. That gets away from the first baseman. Micah is looking to make it from second all the way to third now. And he's going to be standing up over to third base. So that's going to be a throwing error from the pitcher to the first baseman that's going to allow Micah to get over to scoring position. So CSP definitely in business here.
Okay, well, we just got information in the Post-Journal that the Circru kid can throw right-handed or left-handed.
Well, we're seeing the right-handed version so far.
Okay, so there's
the hook, and that's going to be called a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Trent Burchanowski. So how does that work?
That's what I was going to ask you. If he throws 1 inning left-handed, and 1 inning right-handed, does that count as total pitches, or?
Mark Burchanowski standing just over to my left. When Trent gets done batting, we're going to ask Mark. He would know.
That's an interesting. That's really unusual. You got a kid that can throw both hands.
Okay, he's trying to take his base. Trent gets over to first base. Hey, Mark. Pitcher can throw righty and lefty. How does that work? Do you get pitch counts on both arms? All right. He's going to call a friend here. One. Yeah.
Is it?
It's still your one body. You got 2 arms. Yeah. We're thinking it's pitch count based on no matter how many you throw righty or lefty. It's total pitch count. That's what we're going with. And that's going to be a stolen base for second. They throw it to third, trying to see if they catch Micah sleeping over there, but that's going to advance Trent over to second base. Either way, to be able to throw lefty and righty with accuracy, I don't know if I've really heard of that much. Maybe somebody in the majors at some point, but not at this level.
I'd like to see him come out 1 inning throwing left-handed.
Yeah. That's going to be ball 2 to Curtis Olsen now. Syracuse got the eye black going out there.
Yes, he does.
Another hook. There's a hit toward the shortstop. But because of the turf, it's going to make everybody safe. Curtis is going to advance the runners. Mike is going to score. Trent's going to third. And that turf, that was a well-hit ball. That turf just gobbled that ball right up, Dennis, and it didn't get to the shortstop quick enough.
Well, he was playing deep to begin with. He was coming off from trying to hold Trent on the second base. He got a little deep, and that ball did really slow down.
Took a long time to get to him.
Boy, it sounds like when it goes off the bat that they really spanked it, but really just trickles out there. So that was a long throw for that kid.
So this is Dylan Michael up. Trent Burchanowski on third, Curtis Olsen on first. Curtis going to take a stab at stealing, and they throw it to the shortstop, trying to catch it and see if Trent was going to make his way toward home, but he wasn't moving. So now we got second and third. No outs here in the top half of the third inning.
6.
And there's a well-hit ball right between the shortstop and the third baseman. Nice piece of hitting by Dylan.
That was. I don't know if you noticed, but they just before that pitcher threw the ball, that shortstop came in really shallow, and that ball went right past him.
Right past him.
Well,
that's going to bring up Ian Dunewald. Ian with a base on balls in the second inning and then eventually scored. And again, we got a throw, no throw this time. They're going to let the runner advance to second base with no throw. So now we got second and third no outs. Putting a lot of pressure on the right arm of Bryce Hinsdale out here. We've had runners in scoring position, it seems like, about the whole of the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
And there's a good pitch, swing and a miss, strike one for Ian.
Tell you what, we have a lot of strength on the offensive end.
Doesn't matter righty or lefty, you get pitch counts on total. Yep, okay. Confirmation pitch count is per day, doesn't matter which arm.
Okay.
There's the hook again, called on the outside
Wow.
corner. Must have caught the front corner of that.
Yeah, it must have been the front corner of the painted line out there. It was about 3 feet ahead of the plate.
There's this heater
Ooh,
on the
yeah.
high and tight. A little lefty-righty going here. He goes away with the curveball and high and tight with the fastball.
Yeah. That one was some
Little
chin music
yes,
there.
sir. There's the hook again, called strike three. He is just touching the front half of that corner of the plate with that curveball. That's a lethal pitch. Especially if
Certainly is.
if he's getting that call, that's lethal.
Yes, it is.
One down here now. Tate Katney's to the plate. Runners on second and third. There's that curve again. That one's outside.
Yep.
All right, that's a fastball
ball.
down the middle. The Tate gets a little bit under it, and it's going to be popped up right to the second baseman. And that's going to be two down now. Runners still at second and third. Nobody advances. It's going to be top of the order. Austin White coming up.
Tell you what, second baseman's been busy for
He
them.
has
Man, had a lot of putouts over there.
Yes, he has. They shift the field a little bit. Left-handed hitting Austin White, so they shift to the right just a little bit. And that's going to be curveball on the inside, ball one. Once again, 7-2, CSP Wolfpack over the Pine Valley Panthers. Top of the third inning, two down. Austin White at the plate. Curtis Olsen at second. Dylan Michael, and there's a hard hit down the first baseline. That should score two. Austin White with a nice hit on the first baseline that gets his way past the first baseman out to right field. It's going to get 2 RBIs for Austin and 2 more runs for the Wolfpack.
Well, that was a nice job of base hitting right there.
It sure was. The first baseman playing about even with the bag, and that one was hit real hard, and the grass didn't actually gobble that one up too much. That was a rocket ship.
Hey, he had him on the line there. I don't know if he'd have been off the bag a little bit. He might have had to play on that. But
There wasn't anybody over there on first either.
No.
I mean, he really
wasn't.
Not right-handed, left-handed batter. You'd play him to pull a little bit, but. So lefty Bryce Hinsdale up, and now they are holding him on at first base. And there he goes towards second. We'll see if we get a throw.
There's
we do.
a throw.
Good throw. It's going to be a stolen base for Austin. Advances to second base on the throw. 1 ball, no strikes. That was called a ball for Bryce. Oh, there's that hook.
There's that hook.
Jeez.
I mean, that ball looked, when he let go of that ball looked like it was going to be way outside.
That's a good pitch to have in
That
your
is.
arsenal.
That really is. That's
Even for a lefty, it's still curving into the strike zone, but as a right-handed batter, it's coming right at your head.
yes.
There's another deep ball to hit to center field, and he goes over the top of the center fielder all the way almost to the fence. Bryce is going to be held at second base with a stand-up double. That's going to score Austin from second base. And that was another well-hit ball by Bryce. And that's going to bring Gabe Roth up.
kind of reminiscent of last night. The bats kind of come alive in the, what, fourth?
Fourth inning last night.
Yeah.
Coming in third inning here today so far. Ninth batter of the inning coming up.
Filling up the scorebook, I know that.
Keep them pencils moving. We like that.
I don't know if I got enough lead in my pencil here.
There's the ball on the outside. Gabe Roth at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to Gabe.
How much he must not have pitched the whole game last night in Frewsburg.
No, I don't know how many pitches. I think 30 was the magic number, and I think he was over that. So I think we've got Maple Grove on Monday at Maple Grove. So I got to think they might get a full dose of Gabe on Monday. So. Especially now that we've got a little bit of a cushion here, and Curtis seems to kind of found his groove. And I think that's going to be it for pitcher
like
Bryce Hinsdale from Pine Valley as coach makes his way out to the mound, having a little meeting with the catcher and the pitcher. Well, maybe not. No one's moving.
No, he had his book there. I'm sure he's got pitch count.
Well, he's in the third inning here, and he's probably approaching 65, 70 pitches. He's been full on a lot of guys.
He has thrown quite a few pitches.
I don't use the Game Changer app here because I found if I miss a play, I can't get caught up. So Game Changer is a really great app. It tells you everything you want to know and then some. But by golly, you get behind just a smidge. They don't wait for you to catch up.
Yeah, game keeps going.
The game keeps going. The only Game Changer is changing is you trying to fumble their way through it. So. Anyway, we're sticking with Bryce Hinsdale on the mound. Gabe Roth, 1 ball, no strikes to Gabe. Runners on second and third. 2 down here in the top half of the third inning.
Oh, just second. Nobody's on third.
Oh, I look down there. That's the coach, isn't it?
Well, we could probably get a pretty good-sized lead.
Yeah, exactly.
They could probably throw him out.
Yeah. There's one off the end of the bat. That could be trouble. Okay, the second baseman makes a nice play on that one. Gabe's kind of upset with himself. He thought he had a good ball to hit there. It just squeezed up on the bat for him just a little bit. He was a half an inch of that thing making a big hit. So that's going to put an end to the CSP third inning, but not before we push across 5 runs, and that's going to make the score 10-2. Coming to the middle part of the third inning. Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions. This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Clymer. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom new and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and on and off diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. So, Dennis, how many more times I got to fill my car up with a $100 bill before they're going to start to make a little dent on my tax here?
Boy, I don't know. The federal government's talking about maybe taking some tax off. The states are talking about taking some tax off. I can't believe that they're doing that, but
yeah, I can't either.
I know. But you know, it's everything.
Oh
groceries.
My gosh. I don't care what it is. Food prices are up. Groceries are up. Gas is up. Housing prices are up. You name it.
Yeah.
Just part of the deal right now. So as the CSP team sets themselves in the bottom half of the third inning here, it's going to bring Pine Valley Panther number 2 batter, last night's pitcher, winning pitcher, Donovan Guglielmi.
You don't mind if I just call him Donovan, do you?
Hey, that works for me. Staying with Curtis Olsen on the mound, and that one's going to be a little chin music, high and above his head, ball 1. And that one's going to be a little dribbler down the third baseline. They're going to call foul ball. Must have hit just on the inside of the plate on the way out. So that's going to be strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to our hitter, Donovan. Good low pitch.
That was a nice
on the
pitch.
outside. Yep. Just a touch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Curtis does look a lot more comfortable out there.
Well, had pretty good location on that one.
That one is a little low. 3 balls, 1 strike.
She's trying to keep those pitches low on the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Make them drive it into the ground.
That's going to be a base on balls for the first batter of the inning. Hate to see that. You never want to put that first guy on, but we'll see. Wayne Libby coming up, who reached on a base on ball the last inning, made his way over to third base before the end of the inning.
Maybe they can turn 2 here. We haven't seen a double play yet this year, have we?
Maybe in that Southwestern game. Oh, good stop there. That's a ball outside. I was thinking we had a 4.63er. I could be wrong. Libby, big kid.
Yes, he is.
That ball too high. We're kind of
not that big.
Yeah, that was a little bigger than Libby. So 2-0 to the number 3 batter, Wayne Libby. There's one that's hit pretty well to left field. Should be plenty of room for Dylan Michael to come in. He puts 2 hands on it, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Good play out there, Dylan. Like seeing that 2-handed catch out in the outfield. 1 down here, bottom of the 3rd inning.
A lot of times you see those outfielders take their first step is in, and that's usually a bad sign.
Yep. That's going to bring the cleanup hitter up, George Kruska, number 15, the catcher, lefty. And he powers one down the right field line. That was a shot.
Yeah,
Hits off the cage here, though. Case going to be a foul ball.
Long foul ball. It's all right.
Yep. This complex.
He did turn on that one, though.
They've got 30-foot high fence clear down the full length of the right field side here to keep the balls from going over into the swamp. This is just a great facility.
Really is.
There's a ball outside. Good pitch, good location there. See if you can get him to chase. 1 ball, 1 strike to the lefty. Base runner on first base for Kruska. Got him to swing at a jump pitch. That was a great pitch.
That was a great pitch, all right.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Another foul ball into the CSP dugout, or toward that way anyway.
He is pitching smart. He looked like he been coming inside, and this kid looks like he likes the inside pitch.
Yeah, he turned on that first one.
Yeah, he did. Now he's trying to, looks like he's trying to hit that outside corner now.
That'd be a good time for that. Yep. Another one low and inside. That one called a ball, as it should have been. Hit the dirt.
2-2. Man on first. 1 out. There he goes.
The runner goes. A little hit and run going on there.
Yep.
Foul ball down the first baseline, so we'll re-rack them here. Curtis gets the ball back on the mound. Adjusts his hat a little bit. Looks into Micah for the sign.
Ooh, nice stop. Nice stop. Wow.
Kept it in front of him. Micah did. It's number 1 job of the catcher. If you can't catch it.
See why he's got black and blue.
Yeah. Another foul ball. We'll do it again. Getting his money's worth up there.
Yes, he is.
Good at bat for him. But still 2-2. One down here in the home half of the third inning. 10-2 is your score. CSP Wolfpack over the home team, Pine Valley Panthers here in Gowanda. Couldn't get him to chase it. I must have missed a ball in there somewhere. That's going to be a base on balls for him. That was a good at bat. A lot of pitches there.
Yeah, it was.
That advances Donovan Guglielmi to second, and that's going to put Kreska at first, bringing up Craig Howard. Center fielder Craig Howard, 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the third. Another foul ball.
Fly ball. Oh, he's.
Oh.
You call him safe?
Called him safe.
Whoa.
That was close. Micah bounced it into Tate. Tate put the tag down. That was pretty close play. I think he was safe, but man, they made it look pretty good. So the double steal, that advances the runners from first and second to second and third now. And Howard, that was a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now we got 2 runners in scoring position.
Well.
There's that call on the outside that Sirku was getting, so we're glad we're getting the same.
That's right.
1 ball, 2 strikes here. That was a big strikeout right there. That was a good pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on Howard. Micah dropped it, but quickly applied the tag. So that's going to be the second out of the inning, Dennis. And it's going to bring up the number 5 batter, Harley Conklin. Excuse me, number 6 batter. Number 6 batter.
Number 4. 6 batter.
And we got a swing and a miss, strike 1.
Pitch.
I think we'd put 2 more right there. He was a little late on that one, Dennis.
Yep.
Curtis, when he gets him cranking, he can touch
he can
upper
throw
70s.
pretty hard. Yep, he can throw pretty hard.
There's a ball high. No problem. Good spot for that one. We were talking last night after the game. They've had the gun on Gabe a couple times this year, and he's mid-80s when he's on his fastball, and I got to think Curtis is probably upper 70s.
Yeah, I talked to Micah after the game. He said he didn't think that Gabe was throwing as hard last night as he was the Southwestern game. But I'll tell you what.
Southwestern or Casadega?
Or Casadega, yeah.
He had his no-hitter.
Yeah, the Casadega game. But I'll tell you what, I was standing behind the screen last night. I thought he was throwing some pretty heavy smoke.
Couldn't get the call there on the inside corner. That's going to be 3 balls and a strike to the Conklin batter.
That pitch looked pretty good from here. I don't know. I might have to move over right behind the plate.
There's one down Broadway. That's only 2. I think the umpire had that as strike 3, but I think that's only strike 2. Full, right?
Yeah.
Umpire's kind of putting his head in his hat. Hey, it's all right. We're all learning. Full count here now. 2 down. Bottom half of the third. There's a
right up the middle.
That's going to score both.
Yep.
Potentially. Here comes the.
No.
Got him.
Oh, he is out. Yes.
What a play. What a throw from Gabe. Micah stood right in there. Received the ball, and he thought the ball was going to get knocked out of his hands, but man, what a play.
He did a great job at that. He was that was a great throw.
Great throw.
Oh, no.
They're trying to say that Micah was blocking the plate, but the ball was on its way in there. So the first run, I believe, will score on that.
Yes. Yep.
So they are going to get the 1 run, but they got an outfield assist from Gabe Roth with a big arm with Micah on the receiving end of that and applied the tag, and that's going to end the inning for Pine Valley. But they did get the one run across, so that's going to make the score 10-3, and we're coming to the top of the fourth inning here. Yeah, that was a bang-bang play, Dennis. I don't know how that actually is supposed to play out by the rule books, but Micah's got to have a position to be able to make the play. The ball was up the third base line just a little bit, so he goes up to advance to catch the ball, and the runner and the ball and Micah all come together at the same time. Micah holds onto the ball.
Yep.
They call him out.
That's right. I mean, that's, I don't know the high school rules, but I don't know what they're arguing about. He's still arguing that play, but
hey, Mark.
I mean, the catcher has a right to the ball.
Got a right to that ball like that, right? How's that supposed to work?
Yes, I mean, if he's making a play on it, yes.
The ball was up the third baseline. Micah went up a little bit.
Yeah. If the ball had been thrown over his head or something, then I could see him blocking it. But yeah,
it was right on the number. Gabe one-hopped it in.
He threw it perfect because he didn't throw it right to the plate. He threw it up the third base line.
Yeah, and it hopped on the dirt or on the grass here or the turf just in front of the pitcher's mound, and it's just a perfect scoot right into Micah, and he grabbed it and closed his hand around it. So I don't know, just a great high school play. What are you gonna do?
That's right.
Good arm of Gabe out there.
Perfect.
I'm sure the Pine Valley folks probably don't feel that way, but
Micah did a great job of getting up the line, catching it, hanging on to it, because the kid was coming down 100 miles an hour down that line.
I think it was the catcher too. That's a pretty big kid.
Yeah, it was.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern PA with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program, as well as the Free Energy program, are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com. Phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Okay, so Micah, the recipient of that last out down there, and he's going to lead off here in the fourth inning for the Wolfpack. We got a deep fly ball. It's going to be to the right fielder, and he's going to plant himself underneath it, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Pop out to right field for Micah. Just like that, one pitch, one down. That's going to bring Trent Burchanowski up to the plate. Trent had a single in the first inning and reached on a walk in the third inning. Looked to be a pretty good pitch, I thought. I think they called it a ball, I believe, though.
I know one thing. If I were doing this every game like you do, I'm going to have to go to scorekeeper school, because I'm really not sure how you put that last play, that last out in.
That's why we leave it to the professionals. My little chicken scratches here, I can't even read, so.
Yeah. Well.
But we got 2 balls, no strikes to Trent Burchanowski. But yeah, baseball is a tedious game, and it's tough to score sometimes, especially when you have like that rundown on between first and second. It's going to be ball high, 3-0 to Trent. And then the Major League guys, they got guys, the official scorer up in the, booth that's making a decision on hits and errors and all that stuff. Gets a little bit political at times, I'm assuming, in the Major League level. And Trent reaches on a 4-pitch walk. He didn't get anything even close to hit, so that's going to bring up Curtis Olsen, runner on first base.
So we got some speed on the base pass.
Yes, we do.
See if we do a hit and run like Pine Valley does, or just a straight up steal.
Or nothing. Called strike. Curtis Olsen up. Curtis labored a little bit in that first inning, but really he's had a really good game here. He switched his sneakers. Now we got the steal
There
going.
we go. Ooh, that's in the outfield.
It's in the outfield, and Trent's going to take
And
his
he's
chance, and he's going to go to
third.
third, and they're not even going to throw it over there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a, I guess you probably call that a steal and a one-base error. So
Yeah.
don't ask me how you write that in the book. I just draw my little circle over here to the third base side.
I got him on third base. That's all that matters. And if Curtis gets a hit here,
1 ball, 1 strike to the batter, Curtis Olsen. 1 down here, top half of the 4th. In what has been a really pleasant day to play baseball.
mm-hmm.
There's one on the inside, high and tight. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Pitcher looks like he's struggling a little bit. I don't know. There's a good
swing and a
pitch.
miss, strike 2 for Curtis. I was looking at mention Pine Valley's Twitter page a little while ago. I guess I knew Pine Valley was a pretty good history. 17 sectional championships, 5 regional championships, and the 2007 state champs. So there's another swing and a miss, strike 3 for Curtis.
Well, I think I helped the pitcher out by telling him he looked like he was.
Yeah, don't say that again. So I guess what I'm saying is Pine Valley's got a pretty storied history in their baseball program.
It always has been. Had some great coaches and had some great players there.
Yeah. There's a ball on the
Been
outside.
strong for a number of years.
Yeah. Kind of been the arch nemesis of Clymer on the basketball court for a number of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly on the girls' side.
Yes.
Holy cats, I endured about 10 years of that.
And there's a hard hit ball between the shortstop and the third baseman. That's a long throw, and that's going to be a reach on an infield single for Dylan Michael, and he's going to get an RBI out of that as Trent Burchanowski scores from third base. They had that shortstop playing again.
Pretty deep.
Got his heels on the grass, or the transition between the dirt and the grass. That's going to bring up Ian Dunewald.
That is a extremely long throw for a kid. Kid's really not that big.
Yep. All right, now we got a steal and a good throw by the catcher that time, but that's going to
Safe.
Dylan's in with a steal to second base. Good throw there from the catcher to the shortstop, but Dylan easily beat the throw. So he's going to be on second, runners in scoring position for Dylan, or for Ian Dunewald here. And we got a hit, but that's going to be a foul ball out behind us here in the weeds. They're kind of playing a little cat and mouse game out there at second base. Strike 3, but he dropped it, but that's going to be thrown down to first, and that's going to be a put out. And that's going to be the third strike of the inning, or third out of the inning, but not before the Wolfpack pushes across another run, so that's going to make the score 11-3. Wolfpack over the Pine Valley Panthers as we go to the middle part of the 4th inning here, Dennis.
Warming up. Beautiful day.
It is. It's not bad out here.
Let's play 2.
Hey. We got a few to make up. It wouldn't bother me any, especially with this facility.
Yeah.
The Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-4002 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook. Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on a Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemfg.com. So we're making our way through the game here, Dennis. Middle part of the 4th inning, bringing Curtis Olsen back out again, and you know, he's had a pretty efficient outing here. A couple of runs in that 1st inning, but he settled right in here now, and got himself a nice game going.
Yep, he threw quite a few pitches that 1st inning, but he got settled in and Really made a difference after he changed his shoes, I think.
Yeah, it's funny that, you know, little thing like that.
Yeah, something you don't even think about.
Yeah. So, anywho, we got a big week coming up this week. We got scheduled 3 games, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we'll see what Mother Nature has to say about all that. I know temperatures on Monday is supposed to be in the 70s,
Yep.
but then I thought I saw a 39 or a 40 for Wednesday with snow and rain.
Yep, that's what I heard. I heard a chance of rain Monday, but 71 degrees. But then, yeah, it's supposed to be like 40 on Wednesday. It's just.
There's a hard hit ball right to
Yeah.
Austin, and he makes the long throw, and a good scoop by Bryce over there. And that's going to be a 1 pitch out on a pretty hard hit ball by Jaden Miller from Pine Valley, but that's going to be a put out. And 6-3, good play by Austin. Again, both shortstops playing exceedingly deep, in my opinion, especially knowing that this turf is brand new. It just gobbles the ball up. But that's the first out of the inning. Going to bring up Nick Seabolt, number 2. Ball low for Nick. These are the 7, 8, 9 batters, so this is the number 8 batter. And there's a hit towards second base. Trent Burchanowski over, makes a nice easy play.
Oh boy,
It's going to be
I like this inning so far.
4-3, put out. Trent Burchanowski pretty sure-handed. Actually, our whole entire infield is pretty sure-handed.
The defense is pretty solid.
Yes, sir.
And the offense is
Pretty good.
really got some mojo there.
And there's a Kyle Chase that's going to follow the ball off the third base side out of play. Well, he'll wander back toward home plate. Curtis is quickly up 0-1. I think the softball field behind us, they're also playing over there. I saw Ellicottville's bus over there.
Yeah, I heard
believe
some
that's-
noise early on, but I haven't heard much out of them.
That's strike 2. So
Might be a 0-0 game.
that field is also turf. Beautiful facility, I'm sure, like this one is. And swing and a miss.
Oh.
That one gets away from Micah, and that's going to be all the way to the backstop, and he's going to reach on, I guess we're going to call that a catching error, because that was a swing and a miss, strike 3, but got away from Micah, so he's going to advance to first base, and it's going to bring up the top of the order, Bryce Serkiw.
Big curveball. It
Yeah.
just fell a little short of the plate.
Yeah.
Kid did swing at it,
He
though.
did. Micah with a
Another
block.
one.
Yep. Serkiw reached on the first inning on a base on balls. The second inning, he had a swinging miss, strike 3. So he's 0 for 1 for the day with a walk. Ball low again for Curtis. Quickly behind 2-0 to the leadoff hitter. 2 down here, bottom of the 4th. There's one down the middle that Serkiw promptly fouls over behind the third base line.
I wonder if he likes curveballs offensively as much as he likes curveballs defensively.
Well, somebody has worked with him on his curveball.
Yeah.
It is lethal. There's one on the outside corner that could have went either way. 3 balls and a strike, though, to the pitcher, Serkiw.
Really wanted to swing at that.
Yeah, he did. He did well to lay off from that. That was a really good pitch. There's one.
Whoa, man.
Tough.
That one looked pretty good from here.
So he's going to reach on 4-pitch base on ball or 5-pitch base on balls, and that's going to put runners on first and second. 2 down here with Guglielmi. Donovan coming to the plate.
Donovan. Wow.
There's a called strike.
That one looked a little high to me, but You know, the guy last night, I was standing behind the fence, behind the plate, and that umpire last night didn't like calling anything at the knees.
Didn't he?
But the high pitches, he was calling strikes. I don't know.
Well,
maybe the strike zone's changed since I played.
I know it changes around. Just keep it consistent. That's all that you normally ask.
Exactly.
There should be strike 3,
Yep,
and it is.
it
Good
was.
pitch there. And that's going to end the 4th inning for the Pine Valley Panthers, who strand 2. So after 4, it's going to be CSP Wolfpack 11, Pine Valley Panthers 3. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and PA since 1957. Funding for coverage of CSP Baseball on Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass. 716-450-0847 or on Facebook. Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Sherman Livestock at 4150 Sherman-Mayville Road. Cattle auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday. Horse and tack are every 3rd Saturday of the month. More info at 716-499-1362 and also on Facebook. So as we come to the top of the 5th inning here, Pine Valley sticking with their horse. Sir Q makes his way out to the mound again, and now we got the tour bus coming in here. Didn't realize we had
Must be
scouts.
another game afterwards, eh? Maybe we are playing too.
Jeez. Well, they could certainly play ball here all day and all night. They got lights, they got facilities, they got bleachers, they got a snack shack, they got it all.
I'd like to see it at night. I'll be.
Be like the Field of Dreams out here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, those light poles are really tall.
There's only 2 of them. No, there's more than that. It's all I can see is 2 in the outfield. There's not one in center. One in left field, one in right field. But I bet you them babies are bright. They're probably the newer LED lights.
Yep, I'm sure.
So Tate Catneys is going to lead off the Wolfpack here in the 5th inning. Tate had a put out in the 2nd inning and a fly out in the 3rd inning. So he's going to lead off the charge here in the 5th for the Wolfpack. Tate playing 3rd base here today. Foul ball straight back for Tate. Right in the crick. I heard that one.
Splash.
Splish, splash. There's that hook for a strike again. Man, that thing is...
That's deadly, boy. That's just like...
That's not fair.
That's... kid's got a future in law enforcement. He just handcuffs the batters.
There's a hit from Tate to right field. Everybody's on their horse out there. It's going to be over his head.
Oh, yes.
And it bounces clear to the wall. Tate's fast, but he's almost blew through the stop sign. Ow! Little base running error by Tate. He was trying to catch the coach and get the base and just overran it by about 3 steps, and he should have only went by 2. So it's going to be a double for Tate, but he's going to be called out at 2nd base. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring us to the top of the order. Austin White coming up.
That was unfortunate.
That was
a nice hit.
That was a nice hit. Right to right center field. Yeah, he would have had a stand-up double, and he was trying to figure out if he could get to 3rd with his speed. I think that's what he was thinking. But the Pine Valley outfitters did a nice job of tracking that down and getting it in quick.
Well, I think he thought he could make it, but I don't think the coach had the same thought.
Yeah.
Because he was...
Tate was full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Then he looked up and saw the coach, but he was 3 steps by the plate, and by the time he turned around, I don't know. I would have probably just kept going if he got that far.
I think he probably should have taken the chance that they make a good throw to the third baseman.
And we got a hit to the short second baseman here, who's getting his money's worth today, and he makes the play over to the first base, and just like that, we got 2 down here. Well, in Tate's defense as a freshman, kind of getting your feet wet here a little bit, you try not to blow through the coach's signs to stop. That's probably not a good way to get more playing time.
No, probably not. But he did hit the ball nice.
He did hit the ball nice. That brings up Bryce Hinsdale, 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. And that hook just on the outside corner, ball 1.
It'll be interesting to talk to these boys after the game to see what they think of that curveball.
And there's a good piece of hitting that goes right past the second baseman. Bryce Hinsdale is going to in there for another single. He's just peppering that ball to right field today. Double, a triple, a single, and another double.
Yeah. Double, triple, double, single.
4 for 4.
If he gets a home run, he'll hit for the cycle. Don't see that very often.
No. Gabe Roth to the plate now with 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. And Gabe peppers one down to third base side, and that's going to make its way out to left field. Coach Marino's telling Bryce right here on third base, and he will, and that's going to put Gabe into second with a stand-up double.
This is a nice hit right there, right down the line.
Yes, it was.
A little 2-out lightning here.
Yeah, we had a little of that yesterday. All those runs yesterday in the 4th inning came with 2 outs.
Yes, they did.
Well, that brings Micah to the plate. 2 down here, but 2 on. Second, third, 2 runners in scoring position for Micah. Micah had a deep fly out to right field there the last time. And foul ball up behind the plate here. Low ball's a strike to Micah.
Took a nice cut at that.
Oop, that one hits Micah in the thigh, so he's going to have a bruise on his leg as well as his forearms now.
Hey, he gets enough from our pitching staff. He don't need to take anything from theirs.
So that's going to bring up a big spot for Trent Burchanowski. Bases loaded, 2 down, top of the 5th. Trent Burchanowski.
Bases loaded.
Bases
nice
loaded.
Little
here we are.
Dinger here.
Little shot to left field would be perfect.
Yeah, it would be.
Takes the first one high and tight, ball 1.
Last time he was up, he saw 4 pitches. They were all out of the strike zone.
Didn't get much. He's got a single and 2 walks so far today. And there is indeed another game afterwards
there
today.
Is. Plattsburgh.
Plattsburgh.
Holy cat.
Plattsburgh or Prattsburg? Plattsburgh.
Plattsburgh.
From way up north?
That's why that coach bus
no
is
kidding.
here, man. That's what.
That's got to be a 5-hour trip for those. More than that. That's like a 7-hour trip for them guys.
Wow.
And that's going to be ball 3 outside to Trent. Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen.
Look that up.
I've never seen. I've been to Plattsburgh, but I've never seen their baseball team play. Might have to stick around.
When are they playing Gowanda?
315 miles.
Whoa.
6 hours and 41 minutes.
There's another base on balls.
Base on balls. That's going to get an RBI for Trent. He's going to reach on the 4-pitch ball. That's going to score Bryce. Bases remain loaded for Curtis Olsen, and now I think we may get a pitching change.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Well, Plattsburgh, I'll tell you, they travel in style. They got a nice coach bus. I like the uniforms. They're here to play.
Yeah, they are.
What division would they be playing, Gowanda? They Class C?
Boy, I would think that they'd be bigger than that, but maybe not.
Hey, Plattsburgh, you guys Class C or B?
Plattsburgh? We're playing for Fredonia State.
Oh, this college.
Oh,
That makes sense. Good deal. Well, welcome.
how long a drive is it?
Oh, we left Thursday. It's about 7.5 hours.
Where'd you guys play yesterday? Did you?
Yeah.
Who'd you play down there? Oh, okay. All right. Good deal. Well, welcome. Yeah. We're just playing a little high school game here. This is perfect for us.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lowdown here from one of the Plattsburgh coaching staff, I think. And Plattsburgh's in town to play Fredonia State. They played down in Salamanca at their nice facility yesterday, and they're in Gowanda today. So good to see baseball being played in upstate New York at a couple nice facilities with some college
Salamanca,
teams.
pretty nice.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So Pine Valley is indeed going to make the pitching change here. Bryce Hinsdale goes through 5 or into the 5th. That looks like the big lefty Wayne Libby to me.
Yep. No.
No,
It's number 8.
8.
I don't
have to
have
get
a
into
number 8.
the playbook and find out number 8's name. And
I guess so. Gonna have to get it on the Pine Valley website.
yep.
Left-hander. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed catcher. And they're breaking out the birthday donuts for Wilbur.
Jeez.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
See, you'll be able to collect Social Security and tee off from the gold tees.
I tell you what, I'm getting closer to those gold tees all the time.
That's right.
I'm going to start taking advantage of that, dang it. All right, so we got the pitching change made. Curtis Olsen's up here. Bases loaded, 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. Big lefty, number 8. We're working on getting a name for him. And here comes one to the plate that's going to be close, and they got him.
Ooh.
That was a nice play. Gabe tried to make his way home. That was the ball to the plate. The ball bounced back toward the field pretty good. It helped the catcher out. He made a good transfer, and just a good play on Pine Valley's part there. But that's going to put an end to the rally for the CSP Wolfpack, and they end up getting 1 run out of that thing. They were lining up for a few more there.
They were.
So that's going to make the score 12-3 on the middle part of the 5th inning here.
It was a good thing that pitcher was left-handed coming in there to cover.
Yep, it did.
That
It helped.
pass ball.
Yep. And that was big because what that did, too, it kept it at 12-3, which is only 9 runs.
Yep.
So that means you're going to play another inning.
Yep.
The Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods, 716-234-4002, or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook. Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 1-800-295-4282 or online at tripleemfg.com. And the Wolfpack are sticking with their horse. Curtis Olsen is on the mound.
So the coach bus that pulled in is brought in a college baseball team, and they're playing Fredonia State.
On the same field that Pine Valley and CSP are playing on here.
That's pretty interesting.
That is. I don't know if I've ever really seen that before.
Oh.
Not that we would generally play at fields that are really that close to a team, but, you know, I would think like even JCC when is Fredonia State's field tore up? Are they putting up turf up there? Is that why they're playing road games?
You know, I'm not sure. That's what I was wondering. Why would they be playing at Salamanca on Thursday? And
Mark would know.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, is Fredonia State's field tore up?
I think it's just their outfield's probably all
Wet. Yeah. Yeah, well, as we know, it's been a wet spring here in Western New York, and Mark Berchanowski is pretty tuned in on that stuff. He thinks Fredonia's field is just wet like everybody else. Doesn't think they're really tearing their field up, but it's probably just unplayable. So they're playing on the turf fields like everybody else is trying to do.
Wonder how long before JCC puts in turf at Dietrich. Think they will?
Man.
That's been there a long time.
Yes, it has.
That stadium.
That's still fun to play there.
That is.
So that brings up big Wayne Libby to start off the 5th inning here, and that's a swing and a miss, strike one for Wayne. Curtis Olsen high heat there. Wayne couldn't catch up with that.
You like the looks of it.
Sure did. He was going to put that one on the moon. He got his money's worth on the swing. That one's a little low. Called strike two.
Yep. That was a pretty good mix right there.
Sure was. High and then low. Libby, like we've talked, 6'5", so high is high and low is low.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss there, strike three. Micah dropped the third strike, but he easily throws it down to Bryce at first base, and that retires Libby. One out here, top of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, excuse me. Brings up George Kreska. Reached 2 times prior on walks both times. Ball low. Good pitch.
Ooh, that one looked good on the inside corner.
It's called a ball by home plate umpire, but 2-0. That one's outside, ball 3. Kreska, the number 4 hitter, and he's not really getting much to look at here.
No, that's all right. He's got a pretty good bat.
Yeah, he does. Left-handed catcher.
Don't really want to serve up anything fat to him.
There's one down the middle, though. He was taken the whole way.
Yeah.
There's the 4th.
Yeah.
So he's going to reach on a base on balls again. He's going to have an offer for the game, but it's 3 walks on base all 3 times.
Well, he hit some really hard foul balls.
Oh, I got number 8 coming up next. They got number 7. Did I miss something?
They must have replaced somebody.
This is Harley Conklin.
No, this would be the Howard.
Wait, I was looking at position 7, not number 7.
Yeah.
So number 3, Howard, comes out of the game for number 7.
Well.
And there's a ball hit, potential double play ball here.
Got
the
one.
first. Nope, not on the second one, though. Bryce did a good job to keep it from going to the fence. We got the lead runner.
Yep.
So he's going to reach on a fielder's choice, but that's going to give the second out of the inning as they got the lead runner at second base. So now we got 2 down here. And that's going to bring up, I believe, Harley Conklin, number 4. And the Pine Valley bench is cheering "Go Harley," so I guess we got it right.
I think it's Harley. Oop.
And there's a ball to hit to Trent Berchanowski hard, makes an easy play out of it.
Right in front of it.
Yes.
Boy.
That was
Just
great defense.
knock that down. And
Yep. And that's going to put a quick end to the Pine Valley 5th inning. And that's going to make the score after 5, 12-3. But we're going to get into the 6th inning, which is fine because it's really a nice day to play baseball today.
it really is nice out here. Even though it's overcast.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't mind going to play 9 holes of golf this afternoon, so we don't need to spend all day in Gowanda.
Yeah.
Some years, this is my birthday, as you mentioned. Some years I've had to shovel snow. So, you know, we'll take it this year.
Yeah, well, I hope I hope you don't have another birthday on Wednesday.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions and Climber. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions. This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Climber. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom new and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437. Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and PA since 1957. So as we come to the top of the 6th inning here, Curtis Olsen makes his way out. He's going to lead off the inning for us. Curtis with a pretty efficient pitching inning that inning. I think he only threw about 8 pitches.
Yep, he's really settled down after that first inning, man.
And there's ball 1 that's going to make its way to the backstop for Curtis. Good pitch from the left-handed pitcher. Curtis belts it down the left field line, but the left fielder parks underneath it, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. That's a pretty good hit.
It was. He made good contact.
Yep. But that's going to be a fly out for Curtis in the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Dylan Michael. Dylan with a couple of deep singles and a strikeout today, so he's having a good day here. And he wanted that one. He sure did. Left-handed pitcher here now. Still don't have a name for the gentleman, but he's got a pretty good hook on the left-hand side, like Sirku did on the right. That one's a little high. So Dylan even the count at 1-1. That one's going to be low and in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Thought I heard the private jet flying in.
Yeah.
That's going to be the 3rd ball of the at-bat for Dylan Michael as it goes to the fence. 3 balls and a strike.
Looks like they got some lacrosse players out here practicing too. Boy, there's a hub of activity around here.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Gowanda's pretty good at lacrosse.
I know they had their girls lacrosse team was pretty good.
Yep. So Dylan makes his way down to first base on the walk, and that's going to bring up Blake Kopta, who's going to be hitting for Ian Dunewald here as the number 8 batter. It's going to be ball low to Blake. Two balls, no strikes. There's the 3rd,
Oops.
and that one's going to get away from the catcher, and that's going to allow Dylan to advance down to second base.
All gas, no break.
So Gowanda is not that far from the Bills Stadium here, Dennis. Obviously, they've got the approval from the state to put up a new $1.3 billion or $4 billion facility, and they got a draft coming up. Any indications on who they're thinking about taking?
Boy, it's all over the place. They're talking
That's called a strike.
offensive lineman. They're talking running back. They're talking linebacker. I really think they're going to take a defensive back, to be honest with you.
Think they're going to let Poyer walk?
I think Poyer will come around. I don't think he wants to leave Buffalo.
His girlfriend certainly does want him to get some money. Or his
Well,
wife, I guess she is.
yeah.
So Blake Kopta reaches on a base on balls, and that's going to put runners at first and second, and that's going to get a mound visit from the Pine Valley coaching staff. So, yeah, the Bills, man, they got a lot of excitement going up there. They got, again, you know, from a couple of things I've seen, the Bills, you know, they're certainly, if not the favorite, one of the favorites to reach the Super Bowl again this year.
I would think if I was on the roster or my contract was coming up that I certainly would want to stick around. But, you know, it's all about the money anymore.
Yeah, the loyalty thing in all sports has kind of gone along the wayside a little bit. You know, the Patriots played that card a long time.
Yep.
You know, they'd get some guys toward the tail end of their career that still had a little gas left in the tank, and they'd sign them for a little bit of nothing, and they'd make their run. But that seems to be the Bills' maybe MO now a little bit.
Yep.
So that's going to bring Tate Catney's up, and he lost one
Whoa, he
way
hit that
down to
deep.
left field to the wall. That
All
is
the
deep,
way.
all the way to the wall, and that's going to move the runners around, and everybody's going to be safe. Tate's in there with a stand-up double, just a rocket ship down the left field line. Excellent hit by Tate Catneys.
He hit the ball good last 2 times. You didn't have to. Good thing we had a guy in front of him. He didn't have to overrun second that time.
Yeah, exactly.
But he hit that ball.
So that's going to score a run, and that's going to bring the top of the order up, Austin White. And Austin takes called strike on the outside corner. Lefty versus lefty here. We don't see a lot of that. Left-handed pitchers here, but number 8 for Pine Valley, that's where he's dealing. Another one fouled away. Tate just turned on that. Holy smoke. That
Yeah,
was
he did. That was
just a rip.
just inside the line and
Yep.
all the way to the wall.
What's your pitcher's name?
Oop, there's strike 3, swing and a miss. So that gives them 2 outs.
Pitcher is Darlin Westland, number 8.
There's a ball to Bryce. Bryce needs a home run here for his
Hit the cycle.
cycle.
As the sun starts to make its way out here. Whoop, and he's not going to get the chance. He's going to get the bases due to a hit by pitch. That's going to put him on first base. And that's going to bring up Gabe Roth. Big spot for Gabe here. Bases loaded, 2 down.
This is the guy you want up there.
Yes, it is.
Either him or Micah. And they're both.
Whoa. One to the fence again.
Whoa, that was
And they got it again.
That was homemade there.
Yeah.
Coming off that backstop.
Yeah, the backstop here. That's twice. That ball's played the same way off the backstop both times. It hits and comes back to the catcher. And to his credit, he made a nice play, and the pitcher covered the plate well, and they got him out again. You got to make him make the play on it if it goes to the backstop, though. But they made a good play twice now to end the inning twice. So that ends the Wolfpack 6th inning. We do get a run across. And so that makes the score 13-3 now as we enter the bottom half of the 6th inning. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer, family owned. Lictus Keystone Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off and on diesel fuel are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern PA with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards Program as well as the Free Energy Program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy. As it looks like the Wolfpack has made a pitching change, we're going with a lefty.
Yes, sir.
Bryce Hinsdale makes his way out to the mound. Bryce, probably his last pitching outing was against Southwestern when he closed out the game.
Yep, it was.
Fredonia State is now here.
Yep. That's their athletic director.
Yeah. I can't think of what his name is, but he's a basketball referee as
Basketball
well.
official.
Yeah. Bottom of 6.
First, bottom of the first. How you doing, bud?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
How are you doing? Good to see you.
What's going on?
Our doubleheader against Plattsburgh is here today. Our field's not playable, so you got Fredonia State, Plattsburgh State here for a double as soon as this one's over.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. This is a nice place to play.
Oh, nice place to play. Yesterday we were at Salamanca. If you haven't seen that place,
I heard.
It is stupid. It's amazing. It is.
I know.
What 17 million will do for you?
Yeah.
Talking to Fredonia State's athletic director is over here, and his jaw's on the ground like ours is when he comes on. This is a high school field.
Yeah.
Fredonia State's actually playing a doubleheader this afternoon against Plattsburgh State. They played at Salamanca yesterday, and as nice as this facility is, he said Salamanca's even nicer.
Yeah.
So that's coming from an athletic director at the college level. So, yep, fun, good stuff.
Yeah.
What the heck? We might as well have some nice stuff once in a while too, right?
Where's that grant money?
Exactly. So Bryce Hinsdale makes his way to the mound. He got quickly ahead 1-0 on the, but that one's going to be hit to center field, and that's going to be a nice single for number 23, Jaden Miller. And he has his first hit of the game. That's going to bring up the number 8 hitter, Nick Seabolt for Pine Valley.
See if we can turn 2.
And in fact, Fredonia State's field is underwater like the rest of the county. So that's why they're playing here as well.
Well.
A little high and outside for Bryce. 1 ball, no strikes to Seabolt. Once again, 13-3 here, bottom of the 6th inning. Sun trying to make an appearance. I might actually stick around and watch a little of that college game. Oh, ball gets away from Micah to the backstop. Must have taken his eyes off of that one. That was not that far outside the box. 2 balls and no strikes to Seabolt. Runner advances to second on the misplay at the catching position. A little high and inside, ball 3. And that was going to be ball 4 in the dirt. So that's a 4-pitch walk, and that's going to put runners on first and second, no out here. And Pine Valley's got a little something going in the bottom half of the 6th here. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Kyle Chase. And he got that one to Chase a little bit. Actually, that's not Chase anymore. That's number 8. That's the pitcher, Darlin Westland. Well, that one, ball 1. So Westland lefty pitcher, but righty hitter.
Yeah. Now we had the Sea Crew kid was righty pitcher, lefty batter.
Yeah. Good pitch there, a little outside though. 2 balls and a strike to Westland.
They're all screwed up over here, Pine Valley.
We mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
There's one, fouled straight back. That evens the count up at 2-2.
2-2 is men on first and second.
There's one back to the pitcher. Good play there. Over to third base. Gets the lead runner, and they tried to make the double over at first base, but he's going to be safe. But we do get the lead runner off the paths, so that's going to retire the first batter of the inning, and 1 out. Runners on first and second, and that's going to be now top of the order. Cirque coming back up. There's called strike 1 at the knees. That was a good pitch. That one's low and in the dirt. Michael keeps it in front of him.
Good stop there.
Another bruise to the artillery there.
I think the umpire just told Mike, and thank you for stopping that.
I think he did too. There's one on the inside corner that goes for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Once again, CSP 13, Pine Valley 3, bottom half of the 6th inning here. 2 on, 1 out. Bryce Cirque at the plate for Pine Valley. 3-1. And a foul pitch back off the fence. That's going to give us a full count. Full count for Bryce Cirque. 1 down here. Bases first and second loaded with Pine Valley Panthers. Yeah, pop up. It's going to stay in play. Just out of play for Curtis Olsen. Off the bleachers.
Off the bleachers.
So we'll re-rack it here.
I didn't see any of those people putting their hands over their head.
No. Full count for Bryce Cirque. And he's going to take his base.
That's not good.
That's going to load the bases up. That's going to bring the number 2 batter, Donovan Guglielmi, up. And a mound visit from Coach Marino.
Usually get you a little chat time with the coach. No. Hey, guys.
Fredonia State ball team starting to make their way over here. I thought they were bringing pizzas, but that's baseball.
I thought it was donuts.
Yeah.
Had donuts there? Come on, guys.
Well, you got to love baseball.
You certainly do.
So, yeah, the Wolfpack 13-3 here, bottom of the 6th inning, working their way through the lineup here. Number 2 batter for the Pine Valley Panthers. Donovan Guglielmi had a double, a walk, and a strikeout his first 3 times up. Base is full of Panthers. And a ball in the dirt for Bryce. And that's going to be ball 1. A lot of defense behind you, Bryce. Just throw strikes.
Well, make them hit the ball. Get it. Plays all over the field.
Ball outside, ball 2. There's a hit to the shortstop. That's going to be fielded, but not
safe.
before. Everybody's going to be safe. Once again, that ball takes a long time to get to the shortstop. Everybody was running on contact. Everybody's going to be safe, and that's going to put a run across. He's going to reach on a fielder's choice. And out of play behind us.
Strike 1
for Wayne Libby. Strike 1. Again, bases loaded here.
Still loaded.
One down. Wayne Libby at the bat now. Bryce Hinsdale on the mound for the Wolfpack.
Whoa.
That one hit the plate, bounced. That one did not come back to the screen like it did for Pine Valley, so that's going to put another run across the plate. Everybody advances. So now we got second and third with one out. Takes the double play pretty much out of play.
Yep.
Just work the batter, Bryce. And he did. Strike one. No balls and 2 strikes for Wayne Libby. And a foul ball off of Micah's face mask. Keeping him awake back there.
That will wake you up.
Exactly right.
Might even give you a headache.
And there's another hard shot. Long
That's a
throw.
long throw.
Man, I wish they'd move him in some.
That is a long throw. Holy cats.
So that gets a run across on an infield single for Wayne Libby. I don't know. I hate to second guess the coaching staff, but I'd move Austin right on the inside of the dirt right there. There's no reason for him to be playing that deep. There hasn't been a ball hit hard all day. Left-handed George Kruska, catcher. First and second. Bryce throws over to Blake Kopta that's taken his position at first base.
That was a pretty good move, actually. Yep. I thought maybe they had him.
Libby, the 6'5" third baseman, got himself a decent lead over there. Ball one low to the batter, Kruska. And there's a ball hit to Trent Berchanowski at second. This one's got double play potential.
Nope.
Got the one. That's going to be the second out of the inning. They do get the force out at second, but that's going to leave runners at first and third with
2 outs.
2 outs. Number 7 coming up to the plate. Hey, ma'am, who's number 7? Brandon Butcher. Brandon Butcher from Pine Valley makes his way to the plate. 2 down, first and third.
13-6.
And he pops one up down the right-hand side. It's going to be out of play. Bryce is ahead of him 0-1.
Need to get an out here. These college boys are itching to get on the field.
Yes, they are. They're thinking I was never this small.
That's right.
There's one down the other.
Another one.
Foul down the right field line.
Same spot.
Good. Another.
Want some coffee too?
Who's that? Whose coffee is it?
Good block by Micah to keep it in front of him there. So the score is 13-5 now, I believe. Or did they get 3, 6?
I got 3.
6, 13-6. Bottom half of the 6th inning. And there's a hard shot that Bryce knocks down, and that's actually going to be kind of a disadvantage. And now we throw it away a little bit. So that's going to allow one more run to score, and that's going to put runners on first and third again on the misplay on the infield. Bryce tried to knock that down, and he did. Might have been better had he let it go, but how do you know that? So now we got first and third, 2 down, and this is going to bring Harley Conklin to the plate.
Do you have another kid score?
Yes.
Thought so.
Number 12, Guglielmi scored.
Donovan.
Yep, exactly. Donovan.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. Must have been a foul tip. Micah gathered that up. Another swing and a miss,
There
strike
you go.
2. Now he's pitching a little bit. And a foul tip.
Staying alive.
Staying alive is right. 0-2 to the batter, Harley Conklin. Once again, first and third, 2 down here. Bottom of the 6th. It's now 13-7. And a ball. It's gathered up by Micah, and the runner advances to second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Now we got second and third. A little outside.
Oh, he tried to frame that one.
Little tried. Micah tried to get that one. He had to come up out of his stance, though, and that's usually not good. 2-2 to Conklin. 2 down here, bottom of the 6th. And a hard hit ball to second, or short, excuse me. There's a good play. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Now, I liked where he was playing there. He had him up a little bit. So that's going to put an end to the Pine Valley rally. But not before they push 4 runs across in their half of the 6th inning, which is going to bring us to the 7th inning. 13, top 7. 13-7, CSP.
I knew they were ahead, but then White did push some through, so I didn't know if it was still close.
Yeah, 13-7. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and on- and off-road diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support. Funding for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook. Support for Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Sherman Livestock at 4150 Sherman-Mayville Road. Cattle auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday. Horse and tack are every 3rd Saturday of the month. More info at 716-499-1362 and also on Facebook. This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Clymer. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom new and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437. So as we come to the top half of the 7th inning, Pine Valley is sticking with their relief pitcher, Darlin Westland, and big lefty on the mound, and he's going to be looking to face Gabe Roth, who's going to be the leadoff hitter for the Wolfpack in the top half of the 7th inning here. Gabe was hit by pitch in the 1st inning and had a nice double in the 5th, so we'll see what he can come up with here in the top half of the 7th. And takes ball 1 high. And Gabe
there we go.
The opposite way on a ball low and to the right. Going to bounce all the way to the... He's going to try and muscle his way in there for 2, and he gets it. Legs his way over to second base on a double, sliding in head first for Gabe. A nice hustle play for him. He could have easily settled for a single and decided to try and leg one in there for a double. So good work by him. And that's going to bring Micah Willink up, second batter of the inning.
Ooh, he wanted that one.
Yeah, he did. Mike bounces that one out of play down the third base line. So we'll re-rack this one, and he's going to be down 0-1.
You know what's really nice about this facility These guys can slide in their uniforms still clean.
It's perfect. Perfect.
Mom's got to be happy.
Happy.
They don't have to wash that uniform. Soak it and
Jeez, all the stuff. Hogwash. What else we used? All sorts of stuff at our house. That's going to be ball outside to the fence. That's going to take Gabe over to third base. And that's going to be 1-1 for Micah.
there we go. Right in the
One down,
gap.
right in the gap between the first and second baseman. Micah's going to have himself an easy single. And that's going to be another RBI for him as Gabe Roth walks in from third base. So good piece of hitting again by Gabe and Micah.
That's how you manufacture runs right there.
It does not get any easier for the Pine Valley pitching staff with Trent Burchanowski coming up to bat. Trent's got a single, 2 doubles, and a hit by pitch. So Micah's at first base, 1 down here. Excuse me, no outs. No outs, top of the 7th inning. 13-7. Actually, it's now 14.
Yep.
And the first pitch is a ball to Trent. Oh, there's a strike. Trent wanted that one. That one, big sweeping hook from the left-hander from outside to in for Trent, the right-handed batter. There's ball 2 outside to Trent. Micah staying in place over there at first base, not looking to steal, up 13-7 or 14-7. Now Trent hits one back to the pitcher.
Whoa.
Ooh, makes a little bit of an error throwing out to the outfield, but not far enough to where.
Just hurried that a little too bit.
He did. He was trying to get the double. I could see what he was trying to do.
Yep.
But that's going to be a, we'll give it an infield hit for Trent, I guess.
You're a gracious scorer.
That's the beauty of being the announcer. You score it the way you want.
That's right. Yeah.
Very few errors.
The advantage of that.
Very few errors here. Very few. So that's going to put CSP runners at first and second with Curtis Olsen coming up to bat. And that's going to be first ball, ball high for Curtis. 1 ball, no strikes. Curtis with a deep ball.
Oh, he came in first.
Yeah, he did too.
He got her.
Yeah, Mike had thoughts he was going to go over his head, so he didn't tag up. So that leaves the base runners where they're at. But Curtis got a lot of lumber on that one. But that's going to be the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Dylan Michael. Dylan's got 2 singles and a walk today, as well as a strikeout. He's hitting pretty good. And that's going to be ball 1 to Dylan. Now the runners are advancing.
Double steal.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Hey,
Micah.
Tell you what, that catcher didn't make the throw. Micah didn't get the best jump in town. He's got his dad's speed, so he needs everything he possibly can, but he made it work. So now we got the double steal, second and third, and that's going to be a called ball to Dylan. That's going to be 2 balls and no strikes to Dylan.
That was pretty aggressive. That called the double steal there.
That's going to
I
be
like
ball
that.
outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 for Dylan. It's going to be full count now. Scores 14-7. Top half of the 7th. CSP over Pine Valley.
Base hit here will bring in 2.
Or
walk
bases.
over.
All right, we got one down here. Top of the 7th. Base is full of Wolfpack. Blake Copta at the plate. Takes the first one as a ball. Is it bases full of Wolfpack or bases full of Wolves? I'm not sure how you do that.
Yeah, you can do it either way. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Now Blake fouls one straight back. He was just... I don't know where.
I didn't hear that one.
I didn't hear that one. It didn't go plunk in the crick.
It's in here.
Oh, it stayed in play. Okay. So 1-1 to Blake Copta. One down here. Base is full. That's going to be ball 2.
You can almost tell when that pitcher releases that ball. It's just he doesn't
have the same stride all the time.
No, he's pretty straight up and the ball stays up.
That one's a little outside, ball 3. So 3-1 to Blake.
7th.
There's one.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
They're going to call it a ball, but it's going to put Blake on first and advance everybody 1, which means Mike is going to score. That's the second run of the inning. That's going to bring up Tate Katniss, the hero of the last inning, with a big double down the left field line. Tate takes one high and tight.
Need a hit like he did the last time.
Yes, we would take that.
Smoke that thing right down the left field line. Deep.
Deep is right.
The bases are loaded.
He got a piece of it. Straight back on the foul ball, though. That one...
I think that hit the rock.
I think it did. Ball 2 outside.
Ooh.
Swing and a miss. He kind of pulled out on that one.
Yeah.
Tate's lead foot was, I think, almost out of the batter's box. Just stay right in there, Tate. You can do that. 2-2. One out here. Bottom or top of the 7th.
There you go.
That one is a lot better.
Stay alive.
Yep, staying alive again. That was a little defensive swing.
It's all right.
We'll keep it.
Make him keep throwing strikes.
Get one you like, as long as you make contact on that one. Just keep fouling them off. There's one on the inside. Goes for a ball. That's going to give us a full count here. Good at bat for Tate.
That's got to be hard for high school kids to get 2 strikes on you and let that one go by.
And he's going to take us base on a walk, which is going to get him an RBI. And that's going to put the 3rd run of the inning across the plate for the Wolfpack. It's going to make the score 16-7, top of the 7th. But as we know in high school baseball, you can never have too much of a lead.
Never.
And Austin White at the top of the order here now. He's going to take his first pitch, which is a ball. Now he's going to have a swing and a foul ball. It's going to land over amongst the Plattsburgh baseball team here. I like their unis. Red and gray, sharp.
Yeah, they are.
There's one on the inside. Goes for ball 2 for Austin.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bases are still stacked.
Pack of wolves. There's one on the outside, ball 3.
Nice. Kid finally is having a little trouble finding the home
Yeah,
plate.
he is a little bit all of a sudden. He had been doing pretty good. There's one he's going to call.
I think he kind of give him that one.
It's going to bring the count to full. 1 down here, top of the 7th, base is full. And Austin wastes another one away. It's going to be out of play. We'll try it again. Kruska, the catcher there, is doing a nice job behind the plate. He's had a busy day back there.
He has. I think he's got a pretty solid arm, although he's
There's one back to the fence, which is going to score.
Launched a couple out into.
And all of a sudden, kind of lost his mojo a little bit.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4 walks in a row here. I don't know if maybe he's getting a little tired on the arm. He's not really striding like he was. And
thought maybe the coach would come out and
there's another
chat, but I guess he doesn't want to.
Yeah, there's some called strike on the outside corner to Bryce Hinsdale. Once again, bases loaded, 1 down here, top half of the 7th. Wolfpack now up 17-7. That's going to be ball 2.
1-1.
Excuse me, 1-1. I thought that first one was a ball. It was in my mind. There's your second ball.
There's the second one.
And there's a going to be trouble. Going to land right behind second base. That's probably going to score 2 for Bryce Hinsdale. It does. And he's in there with a stand-up single and advances everybody around one base.
Find that ball?
That's halfway to Lake Erie by now. No,
Oh, was it in the water?
it was in the water.
Oh, was it?
Way the hell down.
You need a boat?
Water's cold. There's 2 little waterfalls.
So that's going to bring Gabe Roth up as the Wolfpack have pushed across 6 runs in the top half of the 7th. That's going to make the score 19-7. And that's going to be ball 2 to Gabe. Gabe started the inning off, so we've batted around. Here's going to be ball 3. That one could have been close.
I think he fooled Gabe on that one. I think Gabe was looking for something a little different.
And that's going to be another walk for the pitcher, Darlin Westland, who's really laboring out there now. Now the coach is going to come out.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to try and see if he could get through the rest of the game, but I think there's just not a lot of gas left in the tank there, unfortunately. You hate to see that. And they are going to make the switch. Left fielder coming in. So I watched NASCAR race last Sunday night. I hadn't done that in a while. They raced on dirt down in Bristol.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
That was actually a lot of fun, you know. Those guys, it wasn't perfect conditions by any stretch, and it was raining, and they had to stop the thing a couple times, and they were slipping and sliding around, and then they got tangled up on the last lap, and I'll be danged if Kyle Busch didn't weasel his way into another win.
Yeah.
He gets out and gets booed, and he says, I didn't even do anything.
That's right. Yeah. That was just being in the right spot at the right time.
Yep, exactly right.
I've been to a few NASCAR races, and I've been to Bristol at the night race, and I'll tell you what, if I was ever going to go to another NASCAR race, that's where it'd be.
You went to the one in August?
Yeah.
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 The one in April there, you know, I don't know. Even though it was dirt, I don't know if the novelty's wearing off a little bit or whatever, but man, there was only about 20% of the crowd there. It looked
Yep.
like maybe.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a whole lot. So I'm not sure if, you know, if that's, I haven't really watched NASCAR much lately. And I don't know if they've been drawn at other tracks or if it's just a Bristol thing or what. But
I
it
think
was
it's-
exciting, actually. I heard on Monday morning after the race that was the top-rated NASCAR race they'd had in the last 6 years.
Yeah. Yep. Makes it exciting.
Yep. And I'm watching a little college basketball, or college baseball, college softball. I haven't watched any MLB yet.
Yeah. Watching any NBA playoffs?
Yeah, you know, I watched about 20 seconds of it last night.
Yeah. I don't watch any NBA basketball till this time of year,
Yeah.
and I might flip it on, but
Although I got to tell you, a couple weeks ago, sitting around during another rainstorm we had, it was Friday night, the game got canceled, everything was looking bad for Saturday. So I was looking around for something to do on Saturday rather than sit around and watch it rain. And looked around and see if the Sabres were in town. They weren't.
yeah.
Looked around to see if the Erie teams were in town. Everybody's out of town, so I'll be dang. Pulled up the Cavs website. They're playing at home against the Bulls.
Yeah.
So, like, man, what are the chances? So I get online. We start looking around. Geez, the tickets were like $40, $50. And I was like, well, it's a little more than I really probably would rather pay, but if we're going to go, we're going to go. So.
Yep.
Carl Neckers, Todd Humphrey, myself, Micah, and Matthew White all went up on a Saturday night. Watched the Cleveland Cavs play. And that was kind of fun. I hadn't been to an NBA game in years. And both teams were in the playoff hunt, actually. So they actually put on a pretty good show. And there was a lot of people there. It was fun. It was good. I had not been the NBA's biggest fan in a while.
Yep. I think the last time I went to Cleveland was with you and your dad and a few other guys. And,
play. Yeah.
yeah. And we were up in the nosebleed section for about the first quarter, and then we said, hey, there's seats right down there.
Yeah. All right, we're back to action here as Michael Wade Willink takes his spot in the batter's box against a new pitcher, the left fielder, number 4. And that's Harley Conklin comes in from his left field position. He's quickly behind Micah, 2 balls, no strikes. Now we're down 3-0, and he's having struggle and trying to find anything close to the box.
Well, you know, when I got here and I was standing outside the vehicle and the officials were here, refs were here, and one of their coaches was out there. He said that.
There's one down the middle.
He said that once they got past their top tier pitchers, they didn't have much. So.
Typical of a high school program.
Yep.
That's where the CSP thing has been really nice.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate.
Got some arms.
Yep.
They can throw.
Yep. And that one's going to be a ball to the fence.
4.
And that's going to be ball 4, and that's going to be 6th walk in a row here.
Now batting, number 5.
And that's going to bring Austin White in, score another run. Ball 1 to Trent. Fredonia State and Plattsburgh guys are chomping at the bit to get out here.
I'm trying to backtrack here. How many outs is there? I have only got one.
I got one out. There's ball low. Runners, no place to go, really. He kept it pretty much in front of him. There's one off the shin guard that's going to make its way to the fence, and that's going to push Bryce across the plate. So he scores, and the runners all advance 1 base. That's going to put Gabe over at 3rd and Micah at 2nd. Still one down here in the top of the 7th. We've batted around and then some here. Ball 1 again. Ball 4, excuse me. I'll get it. Ball 3.
Ball 3. I got 3-0.
Yeah, that's what I got. That one.
That wouldn't be ball 4.
So that reloads the bases.
Yeah. How many is that? 6? Is that 6 balls on bases on balls
1, 2, 3, 4,
in a row?
7.
7. Man.
Now we got a new player for the Wolfpack in the game. That's going to be Ashton Munson coming in. He's going to be taking Curtis Olsen's spot of the lineup. Curtis going to be done for the day after a heck of a nice job on the mound.
Yeah.
And he promptly takes ball 1. Yeah,
Ooh, he got him on that one.
Yep. He should have been swinging on that one. That one was right down there. So 1-1 for Ashton Munson. Harley Conklin on the mound for Pine Valley. Trying to finish them out here. That's going to be ball 2.
Oh boy.
Ball 3.
Could it be 8 in a row?
Well, the current score is 21-6. We're laboring through the 7th inning here a little bit. And that's
Look
going to be
out.
ball 4. Did I miss one?
I thought that was ball 4.
Well, you and I agree. The umpire says something else. He says we still got one more, boys.
Huh.
All right. Swinging a foul ball for Ashton Munson. That's going to give him the full count. There's a strike 3. Called on the outside corner.
Yep.
Caught him looking. And now we're going to have another sub. Dylan Michael is going to be replaced by Julio Ramez. Julio comes up, bases loaded, 2 down here in the top half of the 7th. The score is 21-7. And Julio takes a swing and a miss, strike 1. He should have been swinging. That was a good pitch.
It was a good pitch.
Julio's played a lot of baseball over the years. We had him in Babe Ruth for the full year, a couple, 3 years. He's a lot of fun to be around, to be honest with you.
Is he?
Yeah.
It did hit it.
Yep. So Julio is going to take his place down to first base. Receiving end of a hit by pitch that got about a quarter inch of his sleeve. I don't think it even came close to hitting him, but he's got his build. He's not built like me, let's just say that. So that pushes another run across. So Julio's going to get an RBI out of that one too. And that's going to bring up Blake Kopta.
Are you calling him short?
Yeah. That's strike 1 to Blake. He's built for speed.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No, sir. Blake Kopta, junior from Clymer, three-point artist on the basketball court. Won the three-point contest at the All-Star game this year for the high school. And he gets it lit up, and he gets in a rhythm, and man, he just pours them in. Ball gets away from the catcher, but coaching staff just says, hold him where you're at, boys. So that's good.
Not advancing.
1-1 to Blake. Blake plays a little bit of everything. Third base, pitcher, outfielder. And a swing and a miss, strike 2 for Blake.
Took a nice cut at that.
Yes, he did.
I think he had visions of that one going over that yellow fence out left field. Maybe bouncing it off from the scoreboard.
2-2 to Blake here, 2 down. That's going to be ball 3 high.
They do have the scoreboard turned on now.
Yeah, they do. I bet you they're getting ready for the
college
guys. Yeah, he's going to punch him out on that one.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Just go home.
So that's going to put an end to a pretty lengthy 16 batter inning for the Wolfpack, and they push 8 runs across.
They got 9.
9, excuse me.
22.
So that's going to make the score 22-7 as we enter the bottom half of the 7th inning. Pine Valley is going to get their last ups here, and it's going to be hopefully a quick 1-2-3 inning here.
I hope so.
My back and my feet are a little sore.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good for 48, as my mom says. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
Just need to grow a little grass on the top of the head here, that's all. But it's been an enjoyable day here. I don't get to come to Gowanda that often. You make your way up, hour and 20-minute drive from my place. So came up through Kennedy and came through Conewango Valley up that way. I don't know if we're going to go home the same way or not. But pretty
bad
fun.
it wasn't a little bit closer. We could play more games here.
Yeah. Should have thrown the clubs in. I know a guy that's a member at Gowanda Country Club. We could have made our way over there and played 9.
There you go.
Pretty nice track. As the sun now is really starting to kind of make its appearance, I think the college guys are going to have a nice go of it as Micah tries to throw one down to second base from his knees. Promptly throws it to the outfield in the warm-ups. But all right, so we're going to bring up the bottom half of the 7th.
This is a good time to try it.
Good time to try it. Now we know we can't do that during the game.
Yep.
22-7, and we're bringing up big number 24 for Pine Valley, and that's going to be
that's a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitter, I believe. I think he's batting in the 5 spot, if I have it correct. So we'll see. Bryce Hinsdale still on the mound for the CSP, and that's going to be ball 1 outside. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Good pitch there. And a little ball outside there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Number 24 from Pine Valley. That's going to be ball 3. There's a foul ball, straight back. Gets caught in defense, throws it back into play. Coach Marino shows off his arm, throwing it back to Bryce at the pitcher's mound. I believe that brings us to a full count. That should be strike 3. Good, got him looking. Strikeout number 1 of the inning, first out. So again, 22-7 here, bottom half of the 7th. It's 1 down here. Number 1 for Pine Valley. Left-handed swinging. Got a little issue with his right arm there, so he's going to be swinging the bat just left-handed. Good for him. Two balls. Got a swing at that one. 2 balls and a strike. To the number 1 from Pine Valley.
Yep.
A little outside for Brycer. 3-1. Ball 4, take your base. Bring up number 22 for Pine Valley. They're working in some their bench here.
Yep.
Bryce has kind of lost to the outside here all of a sudden. He's got a little help from the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a foul tip. Goes back to the backstop here. Now he's ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's going to be a foul ball down the first baseline. Blake Kopta, we said earlier, is kind of a utility player. He's playing first now. First, third, outfield pitcher. Just get me in there, Coach.
Got him all over the place.
Yep. And foul tip caught. Third strike by Micah. So that's going to be a swinging strikeout number 2 for Bryce. 2 down here, bottom of the 7th.
It's a nice catch right there.
We like those ones. Yeah, strike 1 to the batter. That one's low and in the dirt. Micah keeps it in front of him. That's going to even it up at 1-1.
Whoa.
Whoops, whoops. That was the upside down slider.
It was a bocce ball or something. Jeez.
Highlight. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2.
Must be setting them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Must have been a setup pitch.
And that's going to be ball outside.
Hey.
Hey, thanks. See ya. As the Watriches exit stage left. I don't know what's. They might want to save him the pitch count for Monday or something.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going
30.
on here. 30. Yep. So he's going to have. I guess Trent's going to come in and try and finish it off here a little bit.
Yep.
So yeah, that's just a strategy move for upcoming games. You just never know. We do have the Maple Grove game on Monday. It's 2 days away. but pitch count still kind of comes into play on stuff like this. As long as you got a bunch of arms, you might as well just use them, you know. Game's already 3 hours long. What's another couple minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Bryce threw more than 30 pitches, though.
You know, I think it's 60 actually.
Is it?
30 for 1 day, 60 for 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Actually, so he was in for more than the 30 for sure.
Yeah.
So the pitch count, we're still in April. So varsity baseball, 1 to 30 is 1 day's rest. 31 to 65 is 2. So he must have got his 65th pitch, would be my guess. So that's 2 nights worth of rest. So
Yeah.
Saturday night, Sunday night, and he'll be able to throw on Monday if we need him.
All right.
So now Trent Berchanowski makes his way to the mound. This is 2 down here. Got Panther on first base. He's ready to take the signal for Micah. And number 9 to bat for Pine Valley here.
Well, he gets Bryce threw 3 pitches to him, so it's is it 2-1?
2-1. And a swing and a
2-2.
That's the third.
That's the third.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. One
Yep,
pitch,
one
man.
pitch.
That's the way to work.
Yep, exactly. So
Now that's efficiency.
that is a save for Trent. 1 pitch. So anyway, the end of the ball game has come and gone here, and it's going to be a Wolfpack victory. It's going to be a 22-7 victory over the Pine Valley Panthers at a beautiful Gowanda complex. Just a kudos to the Gowanda staff and the school and everybody else. Great day for baseball here, and I want to give a big shout out to Dennis Hinsdale for joining us on the broadcast today. It's a lot of fun. It's been known Dennis a long time. So.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep.
Good game. Nice place
to call a game from.
Yeah,
and,
really.
Got a CSP Wolfpack victory on top of it. So anyway, from Gowanda with a 22-7 victory, CSP Wolfpack over the Pine Valley Panthers. That's going to do it from Gowanda for today. Thanks everybody. Tune in Monday, 5 o'clock. CSP versus Maple Grove. Should be another good game for us. So have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday.